Linda is 53, drives a 9-year-old Toyota Camry, lives in a mid-sized Ohio town in a 3-bedroom house she paid off in 22 years. And last Tuesday, after a routine brokerage contribution, crossed $1.1 million. The neighbor who saw her pulling weeds that morning would probably describe her as someone struggling a little. The neighbor is wrong. And the neighbor is wrong about almost everyone, like Linda. That gap between what people see and what is actually inside the account is the entire subject of this video. There are about 24 million millionaires in the United States right now, according to the UBS Global Wealth Report 2025, and America added more than 1,000 new millionaires every day in 2024. Most do not look like millionaires. An Experian automotive study found that 61% of American households earning over $250,000 a year do not drive even one luxury brand. They drive Toyotas, Hondas, and Fords, the same cars everyone else drives. This video walks through 7 signs that someone in your life is quietly wealthy and will almost certainly never tell you. The first 6 are subtle alone and obvious once you know what to look for. And many people watching are showing at least one right now without realizing it counts. The 7th is the one almost nobody guesses first, the one that reframes the other 6, and the one the wealthiest people you know would refuse to admit out loud even if you ask them directly. By the end, you will not walk through a parking lot or sit at a family dinner the same way again. The trap has a name: the visibility mistake. It is the assumption that wealth and the appearance of wealth are the same thing. Research from Thomas Stanley and William Danko in The Millionaire Next Door found that 80% of American millionaires are first-generation affluent and often live in middle-class or blue-collar neighborhoods, not wealthy enclaves. Misread them, and you build your own financial picture against the wrong reference point, copying the people who look successful while ignoring the people who actually are. You have almost certainly walked past someone with 7 figures this week and felt nothing. They wanted it that way. Sign 1 is the car that does not match the balance sheet. The quietly wealthy drive depreciating metal that costs roughly 1/5 of what their neighbors assume they could afford. According to Experian Automotive's analysis of household vehicle ownership, the top 3 brands driven by American households earning over $250,000 a year are Toyota, Honda, and Ford. 61% of those high-earning households do not drive a single luxury brand. The implication is the part that matters. They are not buying down. They are operating from a frame where the car is a tool for moving the body, not a statement for moving the audience. Linda's Camry is not a sacrifice. It runs, it is paid off, and the money that would have funded a lease is sitting inside her index funds doing actual work. Sign 2 is the way they refuse to name a number. Ask the quietly wealthy what they make, what their house is worth, what is in their retirement account, and the conversation turns sideways within 1 sentence. They will pivot to a story, a question about you, or a vague phrase like, "We are doing fine." This is not modesty as a personality trait. This is operational discipline. They know that the moment a real number lands in another person's head, the relationship changes, the requests start, and the comparison begins. The discipline cracks for most people the first time they want a friend to know they have arrived. And the cost of that 1 sentence is usually a slow drift towards spending that matches the new perception. The Ramsey National Study of Millionaires, which surveyed over 10,000 American millionaires, found that 94% live on less than they make, and approximately 3/4 have never carried a credit card balance. Those behaviors only survive in the dark. The minute the number leaves the mouth, the behaviors get pressured to leave with it. Sign 3 is what they do when someone offers them an upgrade. The waiter asks if they would like the premium bottle. The dealer offers the trim package. The agent mentions the bigger house is only $30,000 more. The quietly wealthy say no, in a way that does not feel like deprivation. They say no because the upgrade was never part of the decision they came to make. The frame is already set before the offer arrives. Pause for a moment. Think of one person in your life right now who fits at least 2 of these 3 signs. Hold that person in your mind. We are coming back to them at the end of this video. Sign 4 is the delay they put between wanting and buying. The quietly wealthy almost never act on a purchase impulse in the moment it arrives. They open a tab and leave it open. They walk out of the store and let the want sit for 3 days, sometimes 30. By the time the delay is over, most of the wants have evaporated, and the few that remain are no longer impulses. They are decisions. This is where the external villain enters the room, because the modern attention economy is engineered against this exact behavior. Quarterly earnings depend on the absence of delay. 15-second videos depend on the absence of delay. One-click ordering, instant installment plans at checkout, and push notifications timed to evening hours when willpower is lowest. Every one of those systems is designed to collapse the gap between feeling and spending. The quietly wealthy widen that gap on purpose, even when they do not articulate it. Sign 5 is the conversation move they make whenever money comes up. They steer the conversation toward something else, almost always something tangible. The garden, the project at work, a book they're reading, a trip someone else is planning. They do this so consistently that close friends sometimes do not realize for years that the topic has been redirected. Watch for it the next time you bring up a salary, a bonus, a market headline, or a real estate price. The quietly wealthy will engage with the topic for about one sentence, then move the conversation to ground where comparison is impossible. Sign 6 is what they do with windfalls before the money ever feels like theirs. A bonus arrives, a tax refund hits, an inheritance lands. The instinct in most people is to mentally spend the windfall before it clears, even if the spending stays internal. The average person upgrades something small, takes a trip, or simply absorbs the cash into normal spending until the windfall is indistinguishable from the rest of the account. The quietly wealthy route the windfall first. Vanguard's How America Saves 2025 report found that the average employee deferral rate inside their workplace retirement plans is now 7.7% of pay, an all-time high, with 25% of participants deferring more than 10%. The quietly wealthy are not pulling from that average. They are redirecting windfalls into accounts before the money has a chance to register as available. 3 patterns are named, but the patterns are not the destination. What sits underneath them is the sign that explains why this entire psychology is invisible to the people running it. Sign 7 is the one the other 6 have been building toward. The quietly wealthy do not see themselves as wealthy. They see themselves as someone who is still saving, still investing, still building, still careful, still operating like the next paycheck matters, because in their internal frame, it always does. The Ramsey National Study of Millionaires found that the average millionaire took 28 years to reach their first million, and most reached that milestone at age 49. 28 years of behaving like a not yet millionaire is what built the millionaire. And the identity does not update when the balance does. Linda crossed $1 million almost 2 years ago and still describes her financial situation when asked as comfortable but careful. That sentence is not false modesty. That sentence is the engine. Sign 6 set this up. The reason the quietly wealthy root windfalls before spending them is that the windfall does not feel like belonging to a wealthy person, because the wealthy person is not who they think they are. The money keeps compounding because the identity keeps underreporting. The underreporting is what protects the compounding from the lifestyle creep that has consumed almost everyone else's trajectory. Here is the governing idea I want you to carry out of this video. Visible wealth is funded by the absence of wealth. Quiet wealth is funded by the absence of an audience. The 7 signs are 7 different surfaces of the same psychology. And the psychology starts with a person who never granted themselves permission to feel wealthy long enough to behave like it. They earn the freedom by refusing to perform the part. What the absence of an audience actually buys is time. Because every dollar that was never spent proving something to someone else stayed in the market long enough to do the only thing money does well, which is compound when nobody is watching it. Go back to the person you were asked to hold in your head earlier, the one who fit at least 2 of the first 3 signs. In the comments, just name one specific behavior you have watched them do that, looking at it now, was probably a sign you missed. Not their name, just the behavior. The one detail that you logged at the time as strange or modest or unnecessary, and that you now recognize as a tell. If anything in this video has named a person you suspect you could already become, Subscribe before the next scroll pulls the recognition back into the noise. The signs only become visible to the people who decided to start looking.